What is up, everyone? This is the Chicago Sports Talk. Michael here today with it is the Chicago Sports Talk podcast, which we normally. This is a special case. I was debating about whether to do it today or tomorrow, but I could do it both days. So fuck it, why not? So we need to address the elephant in the room, and I thought that I was going to be done with this after I made my video when back in last month. I thought I was going to be done talking about it, but somehow they always pull me back in. They always pull me back in to the crossfire. So I get a message of, oh, it's from Twitter, and someone sent a screenshot saying that the Washington Commanders could potentially call the Chicago Bears up and potentially trade for Justin Fields for um obviously their first overall pick. I mean not the first overall pick, their 16th overall pick for Chase Young and Dyron Payton for Justin Fields. Well, number one, unless he gets franchise tag, Payton will be um he will be a free agent unless he gets franchise tag. And honestly, I've said this before, and I said this in my not July, my January video of last month that it is stupid for the Bears to trade away Justin Fields to get Bryce Young and basically restart from scratch again when you have Justin Fields in his second year. You should instead use the draft to require help for your second year quarterback. So I already know. Well, it just went to two people watching. Let me ask you guys a question. To those two people watching, you have a second year quarterback, Justin Fields. You have the first overall pick. You get a call from, I don't know, let's just say the Commanders, just like a throwaway example, the Commanders. They offer you well, Chase Young, their first round pick for Justin Fields. Would you take that offer, yes or no? Chase Young and the NFL rules, you can't franchise tag a player, just noise, buddy. But David McNew, since you're in here, let me ask you a question. If you're the Bears and you get a call from the commander saying, "Oh, you can have Chase Young in our first round, our 16th overall pick for Justin Fields," would you take that deal? Yes or no? You still have the first overall pick to either take CJ Stroud or Bryce Young. I guarantee you, if I made a video talking about how the Bears should trade Justin Fields and draft Bryce Young, trust me, I would be clown. I would lose all my credibility and all my subscribers for that take alone. And honestly, I've been hearing a lot of buzz shit. Like that Jason guy who I can't even say his last name, but the Jason dude from yesterday who I live stream, he's not known for as a reliable reporter. And I mean, I've always been saying this because I've been too famous. I've been way too famous. I'm way too famous, and because people want to technically make a name off of me and send me a bunch of shit like that's not even worth addressing. because I rather build around Justin Fields, a guy that is familiar. Like he's in his he's in his third year, and basically going into he knows what the NFL level is, then just draft a new quarterback to potentially just like restart from scratch all over again. Like people think Bryce Young and CJ Stroud are going to be good players in the NFL. They well, first of all, they are rookies. You don't know what you're going to expect out of those young rookies. Like no disrespect to Stroud and Bryce Young, but they're going to not start off great. Like Baker Mayfield, Justin Herbert. Like y'all remember when Baker Mayfield had that fantastic, like not every quarterback has a fantastic rookie season. And honestly, I rather build around Justin Fields than build around a young inexperienced quarterback that's new to the NFL. That is just my honest opinion. And David, I know you would agree with it, but let me ask you something. Let me ask you something. You have the first overall pick. You get a call from the Commanders. They said that they want to trade you Chase Young for Trey Lance. Would you and their first round pick? You keep the first overall pick and you get the would you trade Trey Lance to the Commanders for Chase Young? I mean, you wouldn't because you have Nick Bosa, but let's say hypothetically speaking. And honestly, I don't understand why would we need to trade Justin Fields when our front office has already committed to have him start the 2023 season. Why would we start the search for possibly our fit? Like I've lost count of how many quarterbacks the Bears have had. Like this is our 50. Like I don't want a 58 quarterback. I don't want a 58 quarterback. I want Justin to do well. Where we Bears fans, we're on the same boat. We want Justin to do well. We want our team to build around Justin. Like no quarterback would ever do better with the Bears team from last year. It's a fact. No quarterback in the entire galaxy would succeed on the Bears last year. And David, I'll get to that. I know the free agent market is not that good, but there may be some notable names that are going to be on there pretty soon when cut days are coming. I think it is rumored that, well, it's not a rumor. It's very likely that the Chargers are going to release Keenan Allen. And honestly, if that is true, I want the Bears to sign Keenan Allen ASAP. And honestly, I mean, we're going to trade with either the Colts or the Panthers. Honestly, I hope it's the Panthers because my host, no, I'm not on the Awkward Silence podcast. CPG is a diehard Panthers fan. Exact. I mean, Chase Young is a good player, but the problem is he can't stay healthy. Like outside of his rookie season, what has he really done? And honestly, it is just like like I sometimes don't get why the media wants us to restart from scratch. Like you don't know if Bryce Young could be good. You don't know if CJ Stroud could be good. Look, if I told you if I told you 15 years from now that Johnny Manziel would have a decent career in the NFL, you probably would like wasn't Johnny Manziel like the first overall pick? If I told you that, you probably would say that I'm smart. But if I told you that Johnny Manziel wouldn't even be on an NFL team, I would probably lose all credibility. Same with Baker Mayfield, same with Zach Wilson. I mean, Zach Wilson was hyped up to be I mean, believe it or not, there's a chart of a reporter that's saying that Zach Wilson is the best quarterback out of that whole entire draft class. Y'all remember that? Zach Wilson? I mean, you can be good in college, but when you get to the pros, it's a whole different level. Like most of the people that talk about Bryce Young to the Bears haven't even seen him play a down in Alabama. And I will always say this to the very day I die. Alabama quarterbacks, the only reason why they look good is because they have a very, very great team. It is basic, like for the past years. All right, y'all with me with this. For the past 15 years, Alabama has been like the Patriots of college football. No matter who their quarterback was, they would always win the national champion. Rather that was Tua, Mac Jones, AJ McCarron, who else? Jalen Hurts. Like no matter who they had as a quarterback, they would always win that. You want to know why? Because Alabama was the best school, was the best team in college in the NCAA football. And Nick Sabian was basically the greatest head coach that has ever coached. Like it's between him and Jim Harbaugh. But with more successful, it's always been Alabama. So Bryce Young has always been good because he had a consistent good team around him. It's the same thing with Mac Jones. It's the same thing. I mean, Jalen Hurts, it was carried by AJ Brown and Devontae Smith. You look at the numbers before Jalen Hurts got AJ Brown, those numbers were not good. Like that's the only reason why quarterbacks from Alabama are so good. As far as CJ Stroud goes, I mean, he's I think he's underrated to me. I think he's very underrated in my opinion. CJ Stroud's underrated. But is he going to be elite? We don't know. Same with Bryce Young. We don't know if you don't know if he's going to be elite. Like and I thought Ohio State quarterbacks don't succeed in the NFL. Why should we take another one? Why should we waste our time with a if Ohio State quarterbacks matter, then why are we should be considered taking CJ Stroud? To me, Stroud's underrated, but you don't know if he's gonna be good. Like at the end of the day, folks, the good quarterback, Justin Fields, was drafted to a team not well established for him from day one. He had the worst play caller, Matt Nagy. Then we fired him. We fired our general manager Ryan Pace. Then we traded all of our players away to teams, and we didn't sign any big time wide receivers. All of our signings by Ryan Poles were basically receivers that would not even start on any other team. Mooney and Claypool, I mean Mooney's more of a number 2. He would probably not start on all NFL teams. Let's be completely honest. Brian Pringle was the sixth. I think he was the fifth best Chiefs wide receiver. N'Keal Harry was the fifth best Patriots receiver. And even when we did start him. We rarely even use N'Keal Harry. And Chase Claypool came in way later, and he's more of a number 3, and he like, honestly, like I said, no quarterback was going to make the Bears better last year. And why would we need to trade away Fields when we have a good thing going? We were number 1 in rushing. And I know that doesn't matter, but if you look after the mini bye against the Commanders, Justin has had good stats ever since we translated into this read option offense. Like, it took the Cowboys game, it took the Dolphins game, it even took the Lions the first time at Soldier Field to make to say that, "Oh, we have a good thing going," because of that change of offensive scheme that we're having. I haven't seen Bryce Young run much. He's more of a pocket quarterback. I haven't seen CJ Stroud. I haven't seen a lot of running around for CJ Stroud as well. All CJ Stroud is, I mean, I haven't seen his highlights, but I haven't seen his rushing yards, and they're more of pocket quarterbacks. Justin's not Justin's that quarterback that will basically um can make a play out of he can make a play even when it looks like the play is going to go down, and he would extend the play and carry he would basically carry the team at the worst. Trust me, people can look at his stats, but I have watched Justin Fields throughout the entire games that he has played, except for the Jets and the Vikings game from the Vikings, the last game of the season. I have seen Justin single handedly carry the, t- the team on his back. And I have watched, like, people will look at his stats and be like, "What are you talking about? He's a bum." You can't expect to be great when your receivers are dropping passes, and you can't succeed when your offensive line is you literally have 3 seconds. 3 seconds to make a play, and there are 3 big giant dudes in your face. It's hard to escape pressure. Like, honestly, I don't even think the best, like, you can I don't care if you resurrect any quarterback, like, no quarterback would succeed on the Chicago Bears. Like, we were just a horrible, horrible team all year because we traded all of our pieces in the offseason, and we had injuries. I love how people want to talk about, "Oh, you guys have Darnell Mooney and Chase Claypool." Well, guess what? Mooney was out for the season. Eddie Jackson was out for the season. We traded away Roquan. We traded away who else? We traded away Robert Quinn. Jalen Johnson was out for the year. Kyler Gordon was out for a few games. Kendall Vildor missed 3 games. Lucas Patrick's missed the entire season. Tevin Jenkins missed 3 games. Cody Whitehair missed 5 games. Um, Larry Bourne, we had a constant change of right tackle because of Larry Bourne losing his job due to an injury. Who else did we lose? Nick. Who else? Oh yeah, Jack Sanborn, who was looking very good when we traded away Roquan. He also got hurt. he was very underrated for a undrafted person that wasn't even drafted. Like, I'm telling you, if we kept all of our players, let's just say hypothetically speaking, we kept Mac, we kept Quinn, we kept Roquan, we we basically would probably be a way better team if we kept all of our if we kept Mac, if we kept Hicks, if we kept Roquan, like honestly, if we had everybody healthy and we didn't like trade everyone, we could have been a better team this year. After we traded Roquan and Robert Quinn, our defense went to utter shit. Like there was no bright spots on our defense. Like the only bright spot was our secondary, but we had a horrible pass rush that couldn't get to the quarterback. And our wide receivers, Mooney was out for the year. Brian Pringle missed 4 games. N'Keal Harry was in the doghouse and was barely even used. Like the only receiver that stood healthy the entire year was Dante Pettis. Velus Jones Jr. was used as a returner, and he was never even used as well. Like no quarterback, it was going to succeed on the Bears. I don't even care. I don't even care if we have Patrick Mahomes. We're not winning more than at least 5 games with him as the quarterback. And honestly, it took me one Super Bowl for me to say if Mahomes. I mean, and you need a quarterback to have weapons around. Otherwise, your team, like you just want your quarterbacks to succeed. When literally, like honestly, you need to build around your quarterback in order to succeed. Otherwise, you're just going to have a good quarterback, but you're going to be on a losing team. Like if you look at Watson, like, and I love how people want to say, "Oh, Justin needed to elevate his team." Well, how come Deshaun Watson didn't do that in 2020? I believe he had like 35 touchdowns and 4 interceptions, but only won 4 games. Do you want me to tell you why the Texans won 4 games with Deshaun Watson? That team was horrible. All right. They traded away their best player, DeAndre Hopkins, and also their defense was giving up so many plays. Like I can run down the list of how many times that the Bears defense decided we're not gonna fucking show up today. How it happened during the Cowboys, the Dolphins, the Lions twice, the Vikings, the it's not it like people think that Justin is like Derek Carr, has all the talent and he does nothing with it. Like honestly, people think that Justin has top tier receivers in this league. I mean not in this league, on his team. And honestly, Bryce Young, I'm telling you, that offensive line, if you ain't mobile, you're gonna fucking die. It's plain and simple. That is just plain and simple. That is how you slice it. And honestly, I haven't said anything wrong this entire stream. But yet people want to believe that we're trading away Fields and getting Bryce Young. You know what? If Bryce Young flops, I don't want to hear it. Because honestly, I think Bryce Young to me is a bit overrated because people don't understand how Alabama quarterbacks The only reason why they work out is because they have a very they are in a school where it doesn't matter who their quarterback is. They always win a championship. Like you can put who you can put Geno Smith on all those Alabama teams, and I guarantee you they're winning a championship because Alabama is a top tier school. That's why Jalen Hurts, Tua, Jones, and AJ McCarron has won national titles on the Alabama. Like Mac Jones is not that doesn't impress. Like he's below average. Uh, Tua's mid. Jalen Hurts wanted the starting job, so he went to Oklahoma, but he needed AJ Brown and Devontae Smith to succeed to get to the Super Bowl. Like I don't understand how people believe that Bryce Young is gonna be a good quarterback right off the bat when he literally had the best. Like Nick Sabian is the best coach in that entire uh college. Like any quarterback could have possibly succeeded with all those Alabama teams. And see, I mean, the only good quarterback I see out of this draft class is probably CJ Stroud. To me, he's very underrated. Like, you can put any below average quarterback on those Alabama teams and they win a national championship. Like, here's what people don't understand about Alabama. Alabama was a very good school for football. And there's a reason why majority of Alabama quarterbacks do not end up doing well in the NFL because most of Alabama quarterbacks have not been mobile. They've been pocket. Tua, Tua's mid. Tua's kind of mid for me. Who else? Jalen Hurts. I mean, all of these Alabama quarterbacks needed weapons to succeed. Otherwise, they would have been complete. I mean, buses in the NFL. Like there has never been an Alabama quarterback to succeed in the NFL. And I get people want to say, "Oh, Ohio State quarterbacks don't succeed as well." Well, guess what? If Dwayne Haskins doesn't get drafted to the Redskins and he goes to a team well established, I think he has a decent career. I think he has a decent career. Who else? If Justin goes to a team well established for him, he doesn't. He's an MVP candidate. Same with Stroud. Exactly, Eric Cartman. I've been saying it all offseason, but people act like Fields could have done it with like any quarterback would have done it with scrubs at the receiver. Like at the same time, we need to build around Justin. All right, I've been saying it for so long, but people want to take the Bryce Young route, and I'm not confident in Bryce Young. Could he be the number one quarterback taken in the draft? Yes, but I don't think he succeeds. I just don't believe in Alabama quarterbacks because, like I said, Alabama literally any below average quarterback would have won the champ. Like Jimmy Garoppolo, if David McNew, if you're still in here, would you agree or disagree that Jimmy Garoppolo would win national champions with if he was on the Alabama Sooners? No, no, that's Oklahoma, but you get the point. I believe Jimmy Garoppolo would win a national champion with Alabama. I just don't trust Bryce Young. I'm sorry, I don't. Could he be a good quarterback? I mean, yeah, if he goes to some team where it is well established for him, but if he goes to a rebuilding team like the Texans or the Colts, he fucking dies. He fucking and same with the Bears. He fucking dies behind that offensive line. If you don't have a like Bryce Young, if you don't have a top 5 offensive line, you're fucked. You're DONE fucked. Got 5 people watching, hit that like button. Also go check out my video I made on my backup channel. I'm starting to make that into a anime editing shit. I decided to do it because it's the off season gonna be boring as fuck and I'm gonna have nothing to do but just like edit shit. But anyway, since we got I mean, we could still talk about the whole Justin Fields thing because we got 5 people in here. And I'm surprised I haven't got any like questions about it. But honestly, the only way I can see Justin Fields leaving the Bears is if he doesn't succeed this year. Or if we give him weapons and he doesn't do well. If he has an average team with a defense, basically that's all that matters at this point. Then he has no excuses to not succeed. That's why Alabama quarterbacks have been successful. They always had a good team around them. Like people act like Bryce Young could go to a franchise and save them for relevancy. Like it's not gonna fucking happen, dude. Like Bryce Young needs a team around him. He is not the entire team. The he needs a team around him. That's why most Alabama quarterbacks fail. So, is there any questions? Honestly, I want to hear your guys' opinion on this stupid ass shit that I keep on hearing that I thought I was gonna get away from, but always they keep coming back. Like you ever hear that video, that meme where people say like they say that oh they can't get away with it, he can't keep getting away with it. That's like me, bruh. Like honestly, at this point, I just don't understand why people still believe that Bryce Young can go save the Bears when literally we need to build a team around Fields in order for him to succeed. When it like and honestly, why would Chicago want another quarterback when they just traded up to get one? I don't give a fuck if I don't give a fuck if this regime didn't draft him. I don't give a flying fuck if that's the case. Josh Rosen was a different situation than this shit. Okay, one situation. Can you please name me another situation? Josh Rosen was beyond. Let me go fucking look up his stats since we want to compare uh this to Josh Rosen. And TRL, if you're watching this, and Offskid, if you're watching this, please look away because I know you guys traded up to get this fucker because he only started 1 year for the Cardinals and then they traded him to the Dolphins. Fucking like, I'm fucking showing this, bro. All right, I have his numbers right here, folks. I have his numbers right here. So everyone wants to compare this to the Josh Rosen situation where Cliff Kingsbury basically lied and said Josh Rosen was our guy. Then they traded him to the Dolphins. Okay. All right, so in 2018, the year he started, he had bad numbers. A 55.2 completion rating, 11 touchdowns, and 14 interceptions. See, very, very shitty numbers. But people want to compare this to the Josh Rosen situation. Okay. Josh Rosen was beyond bad, and he kind of sealed his own fate by saying 11 mistakes were ahead of him. Like, and honestly, Josh Rosen didn't. Justin Fields was way better than Josh Rosen in college. And let's look at Justin Fields' stats from his first season. Because since people want to compare this to the Josh Rosen shit, all right, let me share my screen with y'all. So he started 12 games, okay? Because I think he started when the Bengals. So his first year he had 7 touchdowns and about 10 interceptions. All right, his first year on the team. Like, and he got, I mean, that's a rookie. The team decides to keep him. He has more touchdowns, 17 touchdowns, passes, and 11 interceptions. And 5 if you want to, like, if you want to add 5 more for those Russian touchdowns that he did. So honestly, I rest my case that Justin Fields is not a certified bum like Zach Wilson. I mean, not Zach Wilson, like Josh Rosen was. Like what? Like how is it a difference from when, like, Josh Rosen didn't show any flashes in his first year. The only thing he did good first year was beat Rodgers. Like he really didn't. I mean, he really didn't do anything. It was just Rodgers played like shit to get Mike McCarthy fired. Like he was intentionally losing games to get McCarthy. He was intentionally losing games to get Mike McCarthy fired. So what are we talking about, folks? Like what are we talking about? Like Josh Rosen was beyond terrible. Like he didn't show anything special. And the Cardinals, they fired their I think it was Vance Joseph that was their head coach at the time. They fired them and then they traded Josh Rosen to the Dolphins. And they got Kyler Murray. And honestly, they fucked up with the Josh Rosen shit, bro. They like it's even like this is 10 times different than what the Cardinals went through with Josh Rosen. Like honestly, I just don't understand why people that think they know football and they just can't think for themselves and they just think that they can think better for themselves. Like I've seen Justin throughout this entire season, and trust me, the kid has it. We just need to put talent around him. We're not drafting another quarterback. You can make all the mock drafts. It's not going to happen. If like honestly, if you think that's going to happen, cash app's right here. I'm up to taking any bets for y'all. I'm up to. I will. Okay, if you believe Justin will get traded, put 100 on it right fucking now. I'm willing to do it. Put 100. Put $100 on it right now if you believe that shit. Put 100 on it right now. See, no one will take that bet because they know Justin will be our quarterback. Yo, Brock Purdy was like this in high school. Yo, get up. Yo, that's how you know Purdy's got that dog in him. Yo, he just shot a football when he was like young. He shot a football into a basketball hoop from long range. Wow. That's so yeah. That Justin Fields shit took up like the whole stream. Like honestly, I could still talk about it because honestly, and that like my offer still stands for anyone that's dumb enough to take that offer. I'll bet you $100 right now. I'll bet you $100 right now that Justin Fields will not be traded. If you think that he will be traded, put a fucking 100 on it right now. Matter of fact, don't matter of fact 150. Fuck it, we're leveling up that shit. If you think that he will get traded, put 150 on it right now. Well, yep, and guess what? People won't take that offer because they know they ain't fucking. It's not gonna fucking happen. Like I've been saying, like he's starting week one, like it or not. I mean, if that pisses you off, then Sayonara, you just turned in your fan card from this fan base. So guess what? Sayonara, bye bye, bitch. It's not gonna. It's not gonna happen. I guarantee it. Like, do you honestly know how dumb of a franchise we would be to trade away Justin, like a second year quarterback? We don't deserve greatness for the next 50 years, bro. Because I'm tired. Like, honestly, I'm tired of this constant change of quarterback. It's time that Chicago. It's time that Chicago needs one, and I believe that Justin's going to be that dude that finally breaks our curse. And honestly, I'm done. I don't want a constant change of quarterback. Like people don't understand. I don't want to draft the quarterback. I want to build around Justin. I don't want to say, well, we'll trade you and get a first round pick out of it. Like honestly, I don't even think Justin's trade value is going to be that high though. Like people don't understand that we're not going to get a high for Fields. I guarantee you, if we put Justin on the trade market, we're going to get at best a second round pick out of it. I guarantee it. We're not going to get a first because it's not like his stats are that good for a first round pick. Man, I just had to go on that fucking rant and shit, but I usually go for an hour of these streams. So, what do you guys think of this bullshit news? Yeah, according to this report, I think Green Bay is disgusted about Rodgers and they're going to trade him. They're done with him. What's good? Like, it's not gonna like. I think Rogers is at this point. He's probably done on the backers, bro. And they honestly should just start Jordan Love. They traded up to get him, so what's the point? So, and as for Elimination Chamber, I will be doing that shit tomorrow as a special thing. And honestly, I just don't get why people just like think that they know football and they just report like dumb shit like this. Like people think like honestly, why would Washington think that we would give up a first? That they would give up a first? Like honestly, if Washington called me right now and said that, oh, we want to give you Chase Young for in our first round pick for Justin Fields, I would honestly die of fucking laughter hearing that words come out of the phone's mouth and say, "Who the fuck are you to call me that shit? You really want us to trade our second year quarterback for an edge rusher, not a wide receiver, not and not for like multiple first round picks, just one? Get the fuck out of here, bro." Honestly, if Washington called the Bears, they would absolutely die of laughter. Like you, that has to be the most stupidest thing I would ever hear since Ron Rivera didn't know his team could get eliminated. Like you want it like we're just gonna get a two first rounds out of it. Like people just act so fucking delusional, bro. Oh, Bryce Young was a better prospect than Fields. Well, guess what? I could probably say the same thing about Mac. I mean, not Mac Jones, but Tua, Hurts, AJ McCarron, and I mean not Hurts because he transferred to Oklahoma. And where have Oklahoma? I mean, not where have all Alabama quarterbacks been? They've been in the fucking dump. Mac Jones, shitty. Tua, meh. And AJ McCarron is a fucking starter for the St. Louis team, the XFL team. So what are we really talking about? I don't trust a fucking Alabama quarterback. Just saying. I don't trust an Alabama quarterback. Literally, literally a quarterback. Like that's why Alabama has always been successful because that Alabama team is like the Patriots of college. Now it's Georgia, but before Georgia, Alabama was like winning champions. It was always a national. It was always Alabama and Clemson were the only two good schools back in college. And do you want to know why Alabama always outbested Clemson? Because Alabama was a better had like better players all around, dude. LSU didn't get good until Joe Burrow came. Oregon had good Oregon had a good quarterback, Marcus Mariota. I mean, they're shitty right now, but they were good back they were good with Marcus Mariota. Who else looked good? Who else looked good? There was the only two teams that did good were uh Alabama and Clemson. Other than that, the whole like no one is like no matter how good Georgia is, they're never going to reduplicate what Alabama has done over the past years. Like Alabama was just too good of a team. But guess what? Their quarterbacks, when they got drafted, they never prospered because you want to know why? They were always drafted to a rebuilding team. Didn't AJ McCarron like get drafted by the Raiders or some shit, and then like he got traded to the Bills, and he got traded like he's been on so many fucking teams. That's why he's an XFL quarterback now. I'm not even kidding. Look that shit up. Like Tua, like the Dolph, like Brian Flores wanted Herbert, but they took Tua, and Tua he's mid to me. And Mac Jones honestly is below average. Like Alabama quarterbacks have been below average for the most part. And the reason why they have good stats is because, well, they were on a team with the best, like they were on the Patriots of college football. But anyways, I'm thinking about saying fucking and ending the stream because there's like one person watching. So, anyways, thank you all for watching the podcast. We'll be back for tomorrow and we'll be back for next Friday. So, thank you and always bear down. Bear down always.